All right, ladies and gentlemen, who is correct? What do you think, Brayden? Taro is correct. What did Jamie do that was incorrect? We flipped the sign. Now, I know why Jamie probably did that, because does everybody see this negative right here? Maybe that's the reason that it was flipped. But folks, was this being divided by a negative? It was being divided by a positive 6, wasn't it? Okay, so Taro is correct. Jamie is incorrect. Jamie flipped the symbol when, actually, I don't know if that's a he or a she. Jamie is kind of he or she. I'm not sure, but they should not have flipped the symbol. Any questions on that first warm-up problem? Okay, let's move on to that second warm-up problem. What is the first thing that needs to be done here? Distribute. Go ahead, Brayden. Can you distribute that -5 for me? So -5t, right? And then what's a negative times a negative? Plus 25 is less than or equal to. Go ahead and distribute on the other side. Wonderful. Brayden, who's next? Tyler, I need to combine like terms if possible. Are there any like terms to combine? Which ones? Okay, what do you get on this side if you combine those? Okay. Now, in order to combine it with the other 4t, we need to move it over, right? How would you move it over? So now what's left then, Tyler? Folks, there's no variables left. So is that a true statement or a false statement? How do you read this? This says 25 is less than or equal to -12. It's false, right? Yes? So does that mean no solution or all real numbers? No solution. How'd we do there? Pretty good? Tyler, who's next? Cody, what are you going to do first in the next problem? Okay, go ahead. What do you get? Oh, less than or equal to? Okay, Cody, who's next? Trevor, is there anything that can be combined? And what do you get when you combine those? Wonderful. How's everybody doing so far? Still good? Yeah? Okay, Trevor, who's next? Quentin, I need to get my M's together. What would you do? Okay, what's left then? Okay, no more variables again. Is this a true statement or a false statement? It's true only because of this equal sign. If this equal sign was not here, it would be false because 18 is not less than 18, is it? So because we have less than or equal to, it is true. What does that mean? All real numbers. So if you were to put that on a number line, what would that look like? Everything. Does there even need to be a number on the number line? No, it's just everything. Everything is shaded. How we doing here, guys? Yes. Yeah, we can handle that. For sure. I'll work that in maybe this week or next week. Okay, for sure. All right, so today we're going to do some word problems. And the same process is going to be followed as the last time that we did word problems. What's the first thing you have to identify? First, the unknown. And what do we use for unknowns? Variables. So you need to identify. Oops, I did not spell that right. So basically, you got to decide what your variable is going to be. Okay, now that we've decided what our variable is going to be, what do you need to do next? The what? Oh, well, how do I know what to do for PEMDAS if you look at that, not an equation, you're on the right track though, Because is this section talking about equations? These are going to be inequalities. Then you need to write an inequality. And folks, inequalities have what in them? Less than or greater than symbols. Less than points to the left, or greater than, which points to the right. Remember, that's different from equations, because what do equations have? Equal signs. Perfect. And then once we're done writing the inequality, then what do you have to do? You have to solve it. And remember, for word problems, we're not going to draw number lines and do shading. What are we going to do instead? We're going to write a sentence that explains our answer. Okay? Does that sentence have to be long or involved? It does not. Okay? It can be as short and as brief as it needs to be, as long as it answers the question. Everybody clear so far? Okay, why don't you go ahead and read number 1 and decide what the unknown is, please. What do we not know in this problem that we would need to know? I didn't hear you, Tyler. I do know how much money I have already. I know I already have $565. How much more they need, and how am I going to bring in that money? The tickets. Do I know how many tickets have been sold? I don't. So these tickets, that's going to be my variable. Okay, what would you like to use for tickets? G. Now, my only thing I've noticed is with T's, and I just noticed this in the past couple of days, your guys' T's look like plus signs. Okay, so I would really steer away from T's unless you're going to put the little tail on the bottom of them, right? The curve. So we'll just use G's. Okay, what is the goal, the end? What's the point here? I want $1,500, right? Do I want more than, or do I want less than? More than. So more than is this direction, $1,500. Could I be equal to $1,500? Yes, I could. Yes? You don't need your calculator right now. We are doing 0 calculations at this point in time. Could I be equal to $1,500? Yes, I could. So put an equals bar underneath there. How much money do we start with? $565. I've gotten donations already of $565. Is my money going to go up or down? Up. By how much? How do I show $5 per ticket? Okay, between you and your partner there, let's get this solved. Go for it. Isolate your variable, please. All right, folks. What'd we get? 187 even? Awesome. So, what would you write me? I'm Miss Fox. I'm the drama club lady, right? What would you tell me if I asked you how many tickets we needed to sell in order to make our goal? Great. You need to make sure it's a complete sentence that starts with a capital letter and it ends with punctuation. Go ahead. Get yourself a sentence down there. Doesn't have to be long or lengthy. Just has got to get right to the point. They need to sell at least 187, or they need to sell more than 187. At least is good, yep. You don't have to be right equal to that, folks. So don't tell me I just need to sell 187, because it could be more than that. Are we ready to move on? Yes, go ahead and flip it over to the back. Really, we've got a short set of notes today. There's not that many problems today. Okay, go ahead and read that next one and identify what the unknown is. What do we not know that we need to know done? How many toppings? What would you like to use? T, make sure it looks like a T. Yeah, it's right from the book. It's actually screenshotted right from the book. Okay, so what's the end, the cap, the goal? $6. Can I be more than 6 or less than 6? I got $6 in my pocket. Can I spend more than 6? Now, unless you got a credit card to put your ice cream on, right? Could I be equal to 6? Okay, so right out the gate, my sundae, how much is it going to cost me? $3.25. And then the price is just going to go up if I add toppings, right? How much for each topping? Now make sure you put 0.65 for 65 cents. 65 cents per topping, so what am I going to put on this? Okay, between you and your partner, go ahead and isolate that variable, please. What do you got? Oh, that doesn't make sense. I think you might have put it upside down. I think you might have put the 0.65 in first and then divided by the 2.75. Oh, is it supposed to be 65? That means $65 per topping. Whoa, those better be diamond and gold. Yeah. You got 5 even? 4.23? Okay, folks, so the number you should be getting is probably a decimal. But I ask you, can you ask the person at the counter for 0.23 of a topping? Probably not. So, am I going to round it up to 5 or down to 4? Down to 4. I can only afford 4. Okay, so write me a sentence. Starts with a capital letter, ends with a period. Do I have to get 4 toppings? No, I can get up to 4 toppings. I can get no more than 4 toppings. I don't have to get 4. Heck, I don't have to get any. But the max that I can get is 4 and still have enough money to pay. Makes me wish Mellow Cream was still open. I'm sorry. I don't think I have any more food problems. Sorry, Quinn. Okay. All right, how'd we do? You got your sentence down there? Okay, let's move on. Let's move from ice cream to camels. How's that, Quentin? Better topic? Camels? Okay. The normal body temperature for a camel is 97.7 degrees Fahrenheit in the morning. If it has had no water by noon, its body temperature can be greater than 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Write an inequality that represents a camel's body temperature at noon if the camel had no water. Folks, do I know this camel's body temperature? I don't. What would you like to use? C. G. Doesn't matter. When am I talking about this camel's body temperature? It says at noon, doesn't it? What do I know about this camel's body temperature at noon with no water? It's greater than 104. Do you see how it says it can be greater than 104? Okay, so there's my inequality. Nothing to do there. The variable's already isolated, yes? Okay, now it says if C represents the degree Celsius. Uh-oh, I probably shouldn't use C here then, should I? I'm going to change it to G. Okay, if C represents, you could use that as well, degrees Celsius, then F equals 9/5 C plus 32. Write and solve an inequality to find the camel's body temperature at noon in degrees Celsius. Right now, my temperature is in degrees what? Fahrenheit. And I want to turn it into Celsius, don't I? How am I going to do that? They give me this equation right here. I have to plug in what? Is it 104 in degrees Fahrenheit? So I'm going to take this 104 and I'm going to put it in for the F. And then if I isolate the C, then I'll know what the degree Celsius is. Now, before you start here, I want to make sure nobody makes this mistake. If you're going to isolate, what are you getting rid of first? The 32 has to go first. So go ahead, get rid of the 32, and then get rid of the 9/5. How do you get rid of the 9/5? You're going to divide it. And this is where we hope it's a nice number. 40. So, what do I know about this camel's body temperature? Well, no. It could be great, and I changed this to G, didn't I? It could be greater than 40 degrees. All I did was swap it out. Up there, that's Fahrenheit. They asked me to turn it into Celsius, which we did. So now I'm saying that camel's body temperature could be greater than 40 degrees Celsius, which is the same as 104 degrees Fahrenheit, right? We just converted it from one to the other. Fair enough? Any questions for me there? No? I think I only got 2 more left, right? Okay. Before we read this problem, I want to ask you what it means to be consecutive. One after another. In a row, yes? So consecutive numbers would be like 9, 10, 11. Those are consecutive numbers, aren't they? What kind of numbers am I talking about here? Positive. And they need to be even, yes? So like even integers in a row would be like 10, 12, 14, 6, 8, 10. How far apart are even integers? 2, 4, 6, 8. How far apart are those? They're 2 apart. So how many integers am I talking about here? 3. So if I call the first one x, you just told me they were 2 apart, right? What would you write the second one as? X plus what? 2. They're 2 apart, aren't they? Yep. Evens are 2 apart. 2, 4, 6, 8. Those are all 2 numbers apart. What about the next one? X plus 4 would be the next one. All right, so now let's actually get back to the question here. It says, find all sets of 3 consecutive positive even integers with a sum. What does sum mean to do? If you add them, how many x's do you get? How many constants do you get? Is no greater than. What does no greater than mean? Does that mean greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to? No greater than. That means less than or equal to what? 36. Between you and your partner, let's get that isolated. Math wasn't too hard there, was it? Okay, now folks, I'm supposed to find these combinations of numbers, yes? Do you see how this says x is less than or equal to 10? So the highest it could be is what? 10, agreed? Well, if this first one is 10, what's the next one? And the next one? So that's the biggest combination of numbers I could get. But you see how it says find all sets? What's the next highest it could be? It says x has to be less than or equal to 10. 8 would be the next one, wouldn't it? Because they have to be even, don't they? So if this is 8, what's this one? And what's this one? 12. Do you guys see how 8 plus 2 is 10? And 8 plus 4 is 12, right? What's the next highest it could be? 6. If this is 6, what's this one? And then this one? Wonderful. What's the next highest it could be? 2? How do I know that's it and I can't use 0? 0 is not even or odd, nor is it positive. Agreed? So that's as many as I can get. There's 5 combinations there that will work. Is that all right for everybody? Took a little bit there, huh? All right, one more. We'll call it a day. Go ahead and read it to yourself. Tell me what the unknown is. The height. Can we use h? If it were me, we're talking about a triangle, I'd draw myself a triangle. What do I know about this triangle? Okay, I'm going to wait. No, I'm just going to make sure everybody's paying attention. What do I know about this triangle? I don't know that. It's just how I drew it. It's a triangle. 3 sides, right? It's blue. I know the base, they tell me, is 16. So that would be the base down there, 16 feet. Got it. What else do I know? The area is no more than. Folks, what does no more than mean? Less than or equal to. Now that's talking about area. How do you find the area of a triangle? Correct. If I look at a rectangle, to find the area of a rectangle, isn't that base times height? Agreed? But a triangle is half of a rectangle, isn't it? So your formula is 1/2 base times height, or base times height divided by 2. Good? Does this half ever change? The half is there for every single triangle out there. What is the base of my triangle? And what's the height? I don't know. It's h, right? All right, well, I can multiply the half times 16, can I? What is half of 16? 8. And I still have the h there. And then how are you going to isolate it? What's h then? 15? Okay, so write me a sentence here. What do I know about the height of my triangle? The height of the triangle can be no longer than 15. Could be up to 15. Can be no more than 15. Could be less than or equal to 15. Any of those will work. Questions? Everybody's good? Okay, so I'll give you your homework. Your homework should be done before you leave here. You got 4 problems today. You may work with your partner. Then you may work by yourself. Okay, so folks, you know where to find the paper? Books are under your desks. Make sure you show your work and include your sentence.